saying it like that? Do they not care how we feel? I don't think that's what they mean. Oh, whatever. We mean good.
We do.
We mean good.
Do you?
We mean good.
I do.
We mean good.
Do you?
We mean good.
We do.
We mean good.
Do you?
Hey guys,
Hey,
welcome back to We Mean Good. This is episode
we
35.
mean good 35. We've
Am
been
I-
here for 35 weeks.
Am I back? I'm really back this time.
He's literally back this time. Last time
It was a pre-recorded
joking.
message.
Yeah, it was all pre-recorded. This is coming to you live a week before. We're
Yeah,
literally a week before.
I'm finally back,
Wednesday, baby.
and the changes were immediate.
It was immediate change. I was just chilling. Like I had woke up the early that day because he came yesterday
Yeah, I got back from the trip,
at like
the drive,
2 o'clock.
2:30ish.
Yeah. And I was just chilling. I woke up at 8 o'clock to get everything ready, situated in, and he busted in the door. He said, "Get the fuck out of my room! You're in my room!" And
Get
yeah,
out of the way! Get sick!
yeah, and then
So I proceeded to force him to get all his stuff out of my room. I made him walk to his house
with everything, I had
with
to-
everything. He had like 4 or 5 bags. I
Yeah.
didn't help.
yeah, asshole.
Then I deep cleaned the room. It was a mess. I deep cleaned, and
There was hair everywhere. Apparently, he said he like gagged a couple times.
Dude,
spit up a couple hairballs. I mean,
I
look at me.
breathed in so much that this morning I was. Look at that.
Not from his cat, because we didn't let his cats in. It was his hair, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, how was the trip, buddy?
it was really good. I left
Uh-huh.
here feeling pretty depressed.
Uh-huh.
I had a lot of things I was going through in my mind.
She said, "Oh, this guy, he's staying in my house."
I have to deal with this kid for 8 months
yeah,
straight.
yeah.
So I was like, I hope I can enjoy this trip. I went. It was amazing. I'm not gonna go too much into detail. Brooklyn is, great. It's like it's always like a second home every time I go there,
Mhm.
so it feels good. But this is the first time I had a trip that I went, and it's like you know when you're a little kid and you go to like a theme park, you do something,
Uh-huh.
and you're so excited to be there that when it's time to go, you don't want to go.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a long time since I felt that way. So leaving, like the last day when we were packing up and leaving, I felt it. Like
Like, it's been a long time since I've been to somewhere and then feeling like, oh, I don't want to go back. Like
yeah,
I remember, like,
I
when
thought I would never feel that again.
Yeah, I remember,
thought I was
like, the
past
last
that
last
stage.
time I felt that was, like, 5 years old. Like, now, like, every time I go to, like, an amusement park or something, which I haven't been in years, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like, oh, my God, I can't wait to stay here. I like,
Yeah. It's like I'll do it, but I'm
Yeah.
ready to go back home.
yeah,
I thought I was past that level
Uh-huh.
of like
like,
excitement.
excitement.
Yeah, and it happened. So that motivated me. It's like, okay, oh shit, like you could still enjoy stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
It's probably because it probably accosted to, you staying inside for, like, a whole year.
probably,
Year
which
and
is
a half.
good. Maybe it was needed
Yeah.
to bring that
Yeah.
emotion back.
Yeah.
So so I got back. We made the changes that we had to make in the rooms, and then
Yeah.
so this morning I wake up, and I'm just laying in bed, kind of just like resting fully after the whole trip.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna stretch. I want to go out to skate for a bit. I start skating. It's hot as fuck. Like when you get used to up there, when I got there, it was like 50 degrees.
Really?
This week it was like cold, and down
Yeah.
here I'm sure it was like 80, 90.
Yeah, I didn't even go outside that
So
much.
I skated around, got exhausted pretty quickly. Just 'cause, like over there, I was able to skate and skate and skate, and I felt good. And then here, you skate 10
Yeah,
minutes,
it's like
and you're dead.
the humidity is like
Horrible.
shit goes through your pores.
So I'm skating, and then I get a text from Willie.
Okay.
Willie texts me,
Our good friend Willie.
our pal. He texts me and I'm like, oh fuck it, let me just see if he's home since I hadn't seen him since I got back from the trip. So I hit him up, and he comes out. We're just talking for a bit, and he tells me that his keys have been locked in his car.
He told me that, and I forgot to reply to that.
So I'm there, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, I want to help.
Mm-hmm.
So I call my mom. I'm like, do you know what we could do to get these fucking keys out of the car? Whatever. I get I get a hanger. I get
you get cum?
it lubricates the door.
Okay,
to open.
okay, alright.
So I get we get a yardstick, the metal yardstick.
Uh-huh.
We get like a hanger. So we go back, and we're like trying to push the lock button because the lock is not one of those that you can hook onto. And he was like, okay, let's try to hook it onto the trunk thing. So we hook it onto the trunk thing. Well, he's messing with it, and then he hooks it, and then the alarm starts going off. So we're like celebrating because like, okay, we got the trunk open, but the alarm is blaring. Okay. So he's like, holy shit, we're both kind of like panicked. We go to the trunk, he's trying to push the chair forward, but we couldn't figure out how to get it down, which luckily the chairs do go down. Jeez. I found the latch, we pull it, the chair goes down, we look at each other, we're like, let's go! He crawls in, gets his key, opens the door, the alarm's not turning off.
Oh god.
And it's just blaring, fucking like really loud, and we're like, what the fuck? Like,
oh Jesus.
So I don't know what he does. He closes all the doors and he like turns the lock and it stops.
What time was this?
This was like, what time is it now?
5:26.
Probably like 1 something.
So
no,
while he's doing that, I'm just over here in this other room. I'm waking up. Like I woke up at 1:50. I'm like, oh, the podcast is coming in like 10 minutes. Knocked back out. I woke up like at 2:30. So I'm just in bed watching TikToks. I probably heard in the background the fucking alarm, but maybe I just didn't even notice.
No. His car's over there though.
That's what I'm saying. The car all the way over there. Maybe I hear it from the distance
like very
or
distant.
Something, and I'm just like.
So hold on. I just remembered this. We're opening it. And while we're like, like fucking in the door, some lady's walking past, and she's kind of like, and she was there the moment where we hooked, and the alarm's going off, and she's kind of like,
you guys are.
Yeah! We're like, let's go! And she's like walking, she's hitting the corner, and she's like just staring, and I'm like, I hope this lady realizes that like we're celebrating because like we needed to get something.
He owes the car, not because they're breaking.
Celebrating and breaking.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Nothing. It's a orb.
Nothing happened there. So yeah, it was mission accomplished.
That's funny as fuck.
It felt great. I was happy for him because he needed the car.
He told me like yesterday. He's like. He texted me, he's like, hey man, how's everything going? I'm like, oh, I'm good, man. He's like, yeah, just been home, haven't really gone out, locked my keys in the car. I'm like, damn,
so frustrating.
It sucks, man, whatever. And the conversation just went somewhere else, but we never...
I never touched back on that?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know why, I was like, dude, I was like, I don't want to leave until we get this car open, because like, and we did it, and it was awesome, so we like celebrated, and yeah. So it was a cool way to start the morning. It felt pretty productive.
Yeah, that's good, especially for him because now he could like
do what he has to do. Which is good.
Yeah.
So during the trip, I had gone to the mall with my cousin and my dad to pick something up. I don't know what it was. So we're at the mall. Okay. And so before the mall, we had gone to Walmart because we had to pick something up at Walmart. And we're walking around, and
I don't even envision Walmarts being in New York.
Well, this is New Jersey.
New Jersey. Sorry.
This is a huge Walmart. It was disgusting.
It's like was it like a mall?
What?
It's like a mall itself.
Kind of. It looked from the outside. It looked really big.
Yeah.
But on the inside, it looked like a regular Walmart.
It's like IKEA.
So, we're in there. We're looking at what we have to look for, and then we're leaving. My dad's on the phone. I think with his girlfriend or something.
Okay.
He's on the phone, and it's me and my cousin. We're just walking because he's ahead of us, and. Like, as we're leaving, this little kid starts crying. Like, he starts, like, shrieking, like, lungs coming out of his mouth. Like, So, as we're walking, I'm looking at my cousin, I'm looking at my dad, and I see the kid crying. And...
You just start making fun of him.
No, hold on.
You go start doing your baby, like...
So, my dad's on the phone, and the kid's, like, right next to him crying. And my dad does this, I shit you not. He goes, he's on the phone, and he goes, hold on. And he does this. He looks at the kid, he goes... He gave the kid, bro, a death stare. And I look at my cousin. I go, he wants to slap the shit out of that kid. I go, he wants to slap the shit out of that kid, right? We get out of Walmart. He hangs up. He goes, I wanted to slap the shit out of that kid. I look at my cousin. I'm like, I told you. That look that he had, he looked like he was about to throw the kid, bro.
I can imagine because I've met your dad, like, in person, like, once or twice. And then, like, just how he is, like, it's... Yeah, I could see it.
But okay, the look, it was scary. He was like if the kid would have locked eyes, I think the kid would have cried more.
He would have ran away. Where were their parents?
Right next to him, doing nothing.
Okay.
Doing nothing.
All right.
Just there. Head empty. Kid crying.
No thoughts.
So that's part one of the day.
Okay.
Then we get to the mall.
Around what day was this?
This was the first weekend that I got there.
Okay.
So this was probably Sunday.
So like flash cut over here, Like I'm just here, like I'm getting, used to being by myself.
The environment of the house.
And like, because I have to stay with the cats, so I'm like feeding the cats, whatever. I'm like, hey, my munchie. No, I don't have to tell her to eat.
Oh no, that's natural instinct.
Vasa, the older one, I had to, because she's the most scared of everybody, so I had to coax her into, come on.
Getting
eat.
used to you. And
when she wants to eat, she bolts down the stairs.
You see that, right?
Yeah.
Tail up, like, ready to go.
So, yeah. He's over here dealing with little nasty ass kids. I'm over here just feeding the cats. Wait, go ahead.
So we get to the mall. I had to use the bathroom pretty badly. Mm-hmm. And my dad takes his sweet time doing stuff, which is fine, whatever. Like, you enjoy your moment. No, I wasn't rushing. I just had to use the bathroom. So we're going, and then he goes to this store, he goes to that store, he goes to this store, he goes to that store. I'm like, okay. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to get a pretzel. He was like, you want? I told him the whole time, I was like, I don't want to eat. Like, I don't want to stack more onto what I got to do right now. He's like, okay, I'm going to get the pretzel.
It was a...
What?
It was... I was thinking, you got to,
not take a piss.
Take a pishad,
Take a pishad. No, so I had to use the restroom, okay?
Yeah.
Let's keep it rated R here.
PG.
So... He gets a pretzel. He's taking his sweet time with the pretzel. He's offering more pieces to me. I'm hungry, but I also have to use the bathroom. Whatever.
Yeah.
We're finally leaving. You know that there's those people in the mall that they're like, oh, try this. Here, try this.
It was like a whole line of them, and your dad's like, oh, all right, I'll try it.
No.
Okay, I'll try it.
So he's actually the opposite with that.
Oh, he hates it?
Yeah, so this lady has a massage.
Smacks the fucking...
This lady has a massage, the massage one that it's like roundish at the top and the handle that has the two balls.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
One of those. So she's there like offering it, and we're like trying to ignore her. Like, it's like when you're in the streets of New York and they're trying to hand you a mixtape, you gotta ignore it. So we're going, and we're like, no. And we're going up the escalator, and he looks at my cousin. He's like, we should have got the fucking massage thing. We should have fucking hit her over the head with it. I'm like, yo, what are you saying right now?
People from, like, the Northeast.
New York, New Jersey, New York, like...
are evil. They're mean.
But the difference between, like, northern rudeness and southern rudeness is, like, up there, it's, like, just talk. Like...
Yeah, they're rude, but southern is, like, they gotta add, like, race into it. They gotta
southern
spice
is,
it
like,
up.
yeah, they'll add the race.
It's like, I gotta hang you from a tree. He's like... Alright, man.
It's horrible. And here it's like something I think about a lot.
It's like Southern hospitality, but then they have like the most evil counter side to that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But yeah, every time I make a trip up north, regardless of rudeness, it's just environment regardless.
No, yeah, I think it's also because New York, they have that culture. It's like, hey, you mama meatball, I'm gonna hit you over the head. And then walk away. Over here,
it's one wrong day, like somebody's having a bad day, and you'll get like just left on the street for saying something or beeping or Welcome to Miami.
Yeah, Miami. Like you were dropping me off because we live close proximity, so we're moving my stuff, and then as we were pulling out, like some van in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, some van
open.
Like
white van.
Some type. Guy who was like, I think he had some music blaring, kind of like he was. I don't know if it was him or whatever, but he was driving like super fast, speeding through. Well, like
as soon as we were pulling out, like he almost hit the car.
Yeah. Like I told you, I had to tell you to watch out because
I was like, what is that?
Yeah, it's like he passed us and he looked the other way, and then like how you're saying the back door of the van was like wide open and like there's some shit in there. And then we were driving by, and then a guy walking his dog, he's like, "Wait,
that was sus, right?"
Some Cuban guy. "Wait, that was sus, right? Hey, you got the tags? Hey, you got the tags? You got the tags?" We're like, the guy was built like a cop, so it's like, fuck that guy too. He's like, who cares? What are you, neighborhood?
I think that guy's like a nurse or something.
Okay.
I have spoken to him.
What are you, neighborhood watch guy?
Neighborhood nurse?
Yeah, neighborhood nurse. Wait, that was pretty sus, right, guy? He talks like a white Cuban fucking cop.
But, so he was like, try to go around, get the tags. I was like, I don't have time to go around and get the tags right now.
You told him, he's like, yeah, bro,
I got you. If I get it, I'll let you know. Right when we drive off, I go to him, I'm like, I'm not getting that shit.
Yeah,
dude, I had no time for that.
Yeah, mind your business. It was like 10 o'clock at night.
By the time we made the turns that we had to do to get to where we would intercept him, he would be gone.
Yeah.
The time we spent talking to this guy, the time we no,
He was already out the neighborhood by the
It was
time
gone. It was
we
gone.
finished talking to the guy. By the time we drove out, he was gone, or immediately. He was speeding. But yeah, something funny that happened over here
okay.
in Miami time.
In Miami Central.
Yeah, yeah. I told my mom, since COVID, I didn't want to cause I was inside, but either way, I didn't want to subject my mother, possibly getting COVID, or
Of
I also
course.
told my grandma on Mother's Day. We had a good. Well, that was before you left, but had a good time. Then it was like one of the first weekends as well. Me and my mom were just chilling. She's like, "Oh, why don't we go to this farmers market that's happening in the area?" I'm like, "You know what?
Nice.
That's pretty cool." So we were going there. It was actually a good amount of people there. I did not expect it.
Okay.
And then now it's to 5. It used to be to 3. So yeah, we're just going, walking around. We get there, and then there's weird, it was random, but there's a jean jacket on the floor. And my mom was like, "Oh, somebody left their purchase on the floor." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's true." So we're walking down, and we're just saying just to check it out, because we ate breakfast earlier, and then there's this guy that some white guy.
In the farmers market.
He was in one of the tents,
Oh, he was one of the
the vendors.
Okay.
So he's like, "Hey, try this, whatever," and those types of things, you're not supposed to make eye contact
Yeah.
with the vendors.
Yeah.
I had, it was a lot of people, and then we had stopped because some fucking people were
Standing
in a
the
cluster. So then, I was talking to my mom, and then he was talking to he was like, "Hey, try, you want a free sample?" And then my mom pointed, "Oh, you want it?" I'm like, I looked at the guy.
Interaction
like,
initiated.
Yeah. So it's been a while since I talked with my mom.
You talk.
We
but
talk,
not
but not interact with other people together.
Okay.
So I guess she doesn't understand the cues
Of,
sometimes.
not wanting to do something.
So yeah. So then I'm like, all right. So I get the sample. He's like, "Oh, this is tuna, whatever, wild caught." Because I guess he's small.
I don't know why when you said a sample of something, I was thinking a fresh smoothie.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you say tuna, it
Yeah,
just
he's
threw my palate
he's
off.
a smoked fish dip guy. I forgot to preface.
Yeah.
Smoked fish dip. I've had smoked fish dip before. It's good, but it's when you're in the mood for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, sure. So he's like, "Oh yeah, the tuna, blah 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 blah." I'm like, all right. I thought it was over. He's like, "Oh, try another one while you're here." I'm like, okay. I'll try the snapper, whatever the fuck, whatever. And then I'm like, "Oh, this is." At first, I had played it off because I wanted to be nice.
And just do it and go.
I taste them. I'm like, "Oh, this is fire,"
Was it?
It was alright.
Okay. It
was
was nothing crazy.
So I'm like, "Oh, this is fire." Second one, "Oh, this is and he's like, "Oh yeah, right. Try another one." I'm like,
Oh my god.
So the
this
third
man's
one-
shoving the
so
fucking dip in your mouth.
So the third one, I'm like, all right. And then the little things to scoop is popsicle sticks that were cut or broken. So I'm like, I wonder where this is from. How did he handle these? Because he had, on the scale of masks to wear.
No.
This the one that you I have masks in my pocket because, so you have the ones
The regular
that you wear.
Here.
And then there's the other ones the shield. Some people have the shields, but he had these, these, not the shirt, but it's the
ones that the neck wraps.
the what's it called? The builder, the fighter,
The racist.
So
That one.
I'm like, oh, okay, he's one. I didn't want to make assumptions, but yeah. So then the third one, he's like, "Oh, this is a fucking swordfish." So I'm like, okay. I'm like, "Oh, this is a lot different. I like the swordfish the most." And then I go to my mom, and he's like, "Oh, do you want whatever?" And then I tell him what price is it? Whatever.
There
I'm
goes
like,
a little more interaction
I'm like,
there.
oh,
You're digging
how,
yourself deeper.
I'm
buddy.
like, oh, how much? How much is it? And then he's like, "Oh, one thing is for 10 or something, or I think he's $12, $15." I'm like, for a little thing. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
And then I asked my mom, like, randomly, I'm like, oh, like, is my brother gonna like this? And like, he doesn't like fish.
Okay.
So I'm like, that should be number one. That should be number one. She's like, I don't know. I'm like, all right. He's like, oh yeah, like some people say that the wives and the husbands, they have to hide it in the cabinet so the other one doesn't get it. Like, it's like a hot commodity. Apparently.
Yeah, this guy is trying to. He's on a hot point.
This guy's trying to be a fucking car salesman. That's what I thought. I'm like, all right, guy, take the fucking hint. I don't want your fish dip.
I mean, but to be fair, you led him on.
I did lead him on.
You tickled his balls.
I tickled his little squirrel a little bit.
So he was like,
he's like,
yeah, the wives.
Finally, somebody's gonna get. And then I'm like, I don't know, like we just ate, whatever. And then I'm like, I asked my mom, like, oh, like, I'm like,
let's go. Like,
you want?
Like, let's get out of this situation.
Yeah, and she's like, well, I don't know. I'm like,
fuck.
Why are you leaving it out? She's like, oh, I'll get it for you if you want. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm just trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, what time are you open till? He's like, and then my mom was like, oh, till 3, right? And he's like, no, till 5. I'm like, okay, perfect. I'm like, oh, we'll just get it later. We'll see. We'll
that's the best, like,
yeah.
It's like, I gotta put change in the mirror. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
You never come back.
So then we walked in and I got an acai bowl. It was fire.
So
and
you
then
just dodged him?
I dodged him, and then I told him, like, let's go all the way
Did you tell your
around.
mom afterwards, like, I didn't want
And
any of that?
and I told her, I'm like,
And what'd she say?
I'm like, that was not like that good. Like I was being nice. She's like, oh, I'm like, I was trying to like give you some signs, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty like. And plus, it's been such a long time since I interacted with like somebody like face to face that's like a stranger, like that.
That you can't fully get yourself out of the situation quick enough.
Yeah, so it's like I should have just been like, you know,
No thanks.
Did in New York. He's like, yeah, I'm good off that.
Yeah.
No, or just like Norm.
Yeah, it's just that eye contact, and then you don't want to be a dick.
It initiates. I don't want to be an asshole, but
sometimes you gotta, man.
Yeah. It was fine. The fish dip was okay. It wasn't.
Nah, it was disgusting. I could tell.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy because as you're telling me that, I'm picturing a nice fruit smoothie.
Yeah.
So when you say some tuna, I'm like, oh. And my mouth is savoring like a nice banana strawberry
You're like
smoothie.
thinking, because I had told you I got the acai bowl. You're like, oh, maybe
That's right.
Maybe
was that good, by the way?
It was really good.
Yeah, we gotta go.
It was really good.
I gotta go.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm not gonna go pass by there for a little bit just to not see the guy, or maybe go from another entrance.
No, we'll just ignore him.
Yeah.
You ignore, and then if I need to speak and be like, no, we'll just do that.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good, guys. I'm glad that my best bud is back. We're gonna do so much more because we're fully chipped. They put the fucking in her neck.
Now, really expect guests soon. Really expect a wider range of videos.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around for this long. Make sure to subscribe. Comment down below some awkward interactions if you haven't left the house and you finally got vaccinated. What happened? And make sure to tell your friends. Hit that bell, guys.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you. We mean good.
We mean good.
Oh, whatever. We mean good.
We do.
We mean good.
Do you?
We mean good.
I do.
We mean good.
Do you?
We mean good.
We do.
We mean good.
Do you?